Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy start of a new week. Oh my gosh, where did the weekend go? How did that happen? I'm so excited for the start of this new week and for this conversation around feminine abundance. It is all the things today. Hang on a second. I'm going to jump over here and check in on I'm going to check in on Facebook and YouTube to see when you all are joining. Good morning, Instagram. Happy Monday. Let's see. Here they all are. Here they all are coming. So after 5 days, it's crazy to think that a week and a half or over a week ago, we did 5 days of wealth with ease. Morning, Margarita. We did 5 days of wealth with ease. And one of the things that happens, those of you that have been on this journey with me, one of the things that happens after every launch is I get all of this content, right? I always say life gives me content, and usually it's my life giving me content. One of the things that happens is that I get a lot of things to talk about, to share, to teach about from those 5 days, especially when we do the enrollment calls, because that's our opportunity to hear what you are challenged by, what you're working through, what are the places that you find that you're getting stuck. And, I serve, obviously, let's just say 100% women. I am creating, let me say it again, thanks for giving me the opportunity, the number one community for women multi-millionaires, like filled with love for God, love for each other, and love for wealth. That's what we have here in this family. That is what I am standing on a soapbox, declaring and creating. And so naturally, it's all women. You would think that, having a conversation about feminine abundance is not something that maybe is relevant. But I just want you to know, having listened to, oh my gosh, we had hundreds of women book calls and hearing what the thing was that you were either most, that was really just after 5 days, you were the most like, Tasha, that is the thing that I'm getting stuck in. That is the place that, I'm so challenged by. And it's always just interesting to me that it's around feminine energy because we serve women. And I'm just going to start with this affirmation that I got once a long time ago when I was single and I was working with a mentor, just working. It wasn't necessarily to have a relationship, but just working on personal development in all areas of my life. And when we got to relationship and we started talking through some of the things that I could see I was challenged by, she gave me this affirmation. And I remember writing it down and like, what? This makes no sense, but whatever. I'm good at doing what I am told. So I wrote it down, I put it on my bedside table, and it stayed there for, I would say, years, years. And I really gave it no energy or attention because it didn't make sense to me until now. And here's what the affirmation was: I allow a man to teach me how to be feminine. And I was like, what? I allow a man to teach me how to be how is a man going to teach me how to be feminine? And so it made no sense to me because I'm a woman. Like, how is a man going to teach me how to be feminine? And I have come to eat my words and sit my little self down, little Tasha down, and just go, now I get it. And so I want to start there, and I'm going to loop back to that at the end, because what I realized now that I understand the power of that affirmation is that actually we have used the last several decades, years, centuries to fight so much for seats at the table, for space in the boardroom, for, being equal with men, that we have we have lost the understanding of the power that we have in the feminine. And so naturally everyone that's in my world is always, leading with, I want to learn about abundance. I want to learn about making more money. I want to learn about creating wealth. And I want to partner that desire with the power that you have, because being in your feminine energy is something that you naturally understand, even if you are not living it. And so what was happening during the conversations was that women were saying, Tasha, I'm exhausted. I cannot keep this up. Like, I am besides myself tired from all of the doing. I'm so in my masculine. I feel like I'm constantly fighting and hustling to get it, right? And so, what was really interesting for me is these words were not connected to trying to create results in the masculine energy. It was just, this is how I feel, and I want to change this. And so I just want to turn the light on in the room and show you the difference between being in your masculine energy and being in your feminine energy to create a result in your life. So when you're in your masculine energy, when that's the thing that you're leading with, that's the thing that you're using, this is where you are applying force and effort. Everything that you do is just about, I'm just going to go out there and hunt and conquer and target, those marketing terms. I'm going to target, I'm going to hunt, I'm going to conquer, I'm going to hustle. I am going to figure it out. This is another thing that's like under the radar, very masculine tendency. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to use my logic. I'm going to stay up all night and worry, and I'm going to have a lot of fear and anxiety because in my logical mind, I have to figure it out. It has to make sense. I have to have all the pieces in check. And that's a very masculine tendency, right? So I want you to be aware of some of those things that are very masculine. And I just want you to start to think about, where are you using force, where you're using logic, where you're trying to figure it out, where you're using your own human physical effort to conquer and hustle and get it. There's this expression that I do not love: get it, girl. I don't love it. I mean, I laugh, it's cute, but it implies such masculine, like this masculine energy to it for me, that just is like, go target, go pull your bow, strike your arrow, get it, like kill it, crush it. Don't love any of those things. I saw this woman say, the only thing I want to crush are my tomatoes when I'm making pasta sauce. I thought that was pretty accurate. And it's just because it's all masculine and there's nothing wrong with it. I have done this topic before and I've said, listen, everything works. Being fully in your masculine works. Being fully in your feminine works. You just need to understand where you're playing and choose. That is your free will, is to choose. And I think sometimes you don't understand that there's even a choice. And that's why we have these conversations. So the feminine energy is more about being creative. It's your ability to create. Think about masculine just on, basic layman terms, masculine and feminine. The feminine is the one that creates life. She brings to life, right? And so when you're in your feminine energy, you're more creating, you're in nurture, you're in flow and allow. And you're probably asking, well, Tasha, okay, I get that when I'm, raising my family or running the home or, being with my partner, but can I use that to create results? And that's the point, right? For some reason, we have been led to believe the only way to create results is to be fully in our masculine. And so I want to ask you a question. If creating your next level of wealth, if creating success in your business, if you think about your financial goals for this year, what percentage do you think that you are operating from your masculine versus, right? So what percentage are you worrying about it, trying to figure it out, all in your force and effort and hard work, versus, you know what, I'm just going to create, I'm going to allow, I'm going to take inspired action from flow. I am going to nurture my dreams. I'm going to spend time with it. And I'm just going to serve from this place of, this fills me up. This feels beautiful. This feels light and rich and makes me happy. What percentage are you So the total is 100%. First part is, what percentage are you in your masculine? Out of 100%, what percent are you totally in your masculine energy and creating results? So that's the first number. I want to, Dion Shaw says, I use different energies for different situations. 80%. Paulette says, I'm 80% in my masculine. Margarita, 80% in my masculine. Instagram, everybody, let me know. Where are you? What percentage are you in your masculine? Barbara says, I'm now 25% in my masculine. Jackie, 25%. And those two ladies I know have gotten there. Right? So congrats to you. And I know that you've gotten there. Dion says 10%. Sabrina, 100%. Being a single mom for over 20 years has caused me to be more masculine. I love that you brought that up, Sabrina, because again, that's one of the things where life circumstances has put us in circumstances that cause us to truly believe and make agreements that we need. Like, you're only going to survive and get out of this situation or survive the situation if you're fully in your masculine. And I'm here to disagree. I'm here to disagree. It is a survival mechanism, and I know that it has served you and it has worked and you are surviving, but I just want to bring to your awareness that there is a choice. There is a choice. That's a whole other conversation that we're going to have. So whatever percentage you wrote as you're in your masculine, then the rest of it is obviously what you're doing in your feminine. And so however you balance it out, now I just want you to know, thank you, Deanna. Deanna says 30%, but it's just because it's what I've been used to. Yeah. I just want to ask you to bring to your awareness now, how does it feel? How does it feel to be that percent in your masculine? Suzanne says, I'm masculine when I steer a boat or I drive, but I'm feminine when I draw or when I teach. Okay, so I really want you to focus on not different aspects of your life, but I want you to focus on, I am really putting my energy this year towards creating wealth, right? I'm really focused on creating wealth. I'm really focused on my business succeeding. I'm really focused on my career advancing. And so in that context, where are you? What percentage masculine? What percentage feminine in creating that specific result in your life? And so I want you to just become aware of, how does it feel? And is it working for you? So even those of you like Barbara and Jackie, that you're now at 20 and 25%, how does it feel? And Barbara says, my whole life shifted when I understood feminine power. Tamika says, it makes me come across as aggressive. Ooh, Soli says, I'm feeling tired from it. And so that's what I want. Deanna says, masculine never feels good. So here's the thing. I just want to bring to your awareness. I'm not telling you right or wrong. I just want to ask you, wherever you are, how does it feel? And Tamika says, it makes me come across as aggressive. And maybe that works for you, Tamika. I don't know. I pride myself on, being in my authentic feminine and, just coming across as light and happy and the light and of abundance and flow and grace and ease. That's all feminine. And I pride myself that is something that I can naturally tap into, where a man who has both masculine and feminine energies will have to do work to get to. Like, he's going to have to really work on himself and be very enlightened to get to the place where he can embody those energies. Where for us in the feminine, it should be natural, but it's not, right? And so I want to, Paulette says, it feels stressful. Now that I'm aware, I'm working on it. Oh my gosh, there's so much. You all should read the comments, because there's so much that's being shared, and it's really powerful. So I want to break this down a little bit further for your understanding. So your conscious mind, which is 5%, right? 5% of your mind power, let's say. This part of your mind is masculine. The 5% of your mind that is your conscious mind, this is the masculine aspect of your mind. And one of the things that it is made to do is to figure things out, is to create from logic, right? That's what it's hardwired to do. But I want you to hear what percentage of your total mind it is. 5%. So what people don't realize is when you're using that power, that part of your mind to create, you're only using 5% of your power. Think about that. Why would that feel exhausting? Because you have a machine and you're using 5% of it to create the results that you want in your life, right? And so when you're using your conscious mind, what tends to happen is it feels hard because your mind is operating at 5% capacity, which means your body has to operate at 95% of its energy. Like the result is going to come from physical effort. That's why it feels so hard. You have a superpower up here, right? That's 100% capable of creating all the circumstances to bring wealth into your life, but you're tapped into the superpower, right? 5% of it. So what's going to make up for the rest of how the results gets created is your human ability. 95% of the result is going to have to be physical effort, right? And that's why when we're in our masculine, why we feel so exhausted. Now, think about the opposite side. The subconscious mind creates. This is where it brings to life things that make no sense logically how it works. One second. It makes no sense to you how it works. But this superpower, 95% of your mind is constantly working. It's like someone's, you know how we always say, I want to make money while I sleep. I want to create money while I sleep. I want to make anything. I want to be asleep. And my superpower is working for me, which means, think about that. If you are creating money with your superpower, your subconscious mind, and 95% of that feminine part of your mind is working, then it means less is required of you physically. And no one is reminding us of this. Instead, they are drilling and drilling and drilling. And what do you all say? I saw my mother do it. I saw my grandmother do it. I saw all the women in my community do it, my aunts, my every other woman that I know, women that I look up to that are successful. They are all in their masculine using physical effort to create results. And no one is having a conversation around, hey, do you know you have a superpower and it is feminine? It's your subconscious mind. It creates, it brings to life. That is a feminine tendency. And I am here to be the person who reminds you from this conversation, because listening to so many women on those calls say, I want to get to the next level, but honestly, I don't even have the energy for it because I'm so exhausted, made me realize, okay, we have to talk about this. So, at this point, I just want to know, does this make sense? Like sometimes all of this next level stuff in my head, I break it down and I'm like, okay. And oh, by the way, I am very much teaching in this conversation. This is for sure 1000% a growth opportunity for me. This is like my hook. This is where my ego, all of my generational, like watching all the women in my life, my mother, just we can stop right there. My mother is a workhorse. Honest to God, I watch her now and she has more energy to do more things than I have. And she's my mom. And I'm like, my God, I feel like, what's wrong with me? How does she do it? Right. But she just saw it being done. So she does it, And so I know, for me, one of the things that I'm like, I don't know that that's an agreement I want to make. We have evolved at this point where we have enough information. We're enlightened enough. We know, right? You watch YouTube, you watch Instagram, you watch TikTok, you read every book imaginable. We know more than our parents knew. We know more than our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts. We know more. We know better. So we have all of the knowledge to support us in saying that is no longer an agreement that I need to make. That is no longer a generational, tendency that I need to continue to say yes to. We have choices, we have free will, and we have knowledge to back up and science to prove to us that there's another way, there's an easier way. And, I was thinking this morning I was going to dive into, so why do you keep choosing it? Even though why do we keep choosing it? And I'm going to save that for another time because I really want to give you four things right now today that's just going to really help you step into your feminine power. But first, like I said, I just wanted to know, does it make sense to you what I've shared so far? And are you really ready to use your feminine power to create the results that you want in your life? The success, the wealth, the ease, the life that feels really good to you. Are you ready to use feminine power instead of masculine effort and energy? And actually, a deeper conversation, which we'll have at another time, is how do you partner with the masculine, not from where the masculine is 80% and therefore driving the results from physical effort, but how can you partner with your masculine so that it supports you in the actions that need to be taken, but not where it's driving the bus. It's the thing that you're like leading with all the time, right? So in a separate conversation, I'll talk about partnering with the divine masculine, because another thing that I see is some women are so far over in divine feminine that they're not taking inspired action, and we need to be taking action. We just don't need to do it the way that we've seen it done for generations, right? Okay, so yes. All right, so here we go. Number one, you have to make a commitment to mastery of your subconscious mind. You have to be committed. I am going to master the utilization of my subconscious mind instead of exhausting myself in the logical conscious mind, trying to figure it out, trying to put all the pieces together. Like, I am going to see myself in those moments where that's what I'm doing, and I'm just going to make a commitment more than anything else. I'm just going to make a commitment. I'm going to master this 95% of my mind that has so much power. It creates for me instead of me using physical effort to create. I want to understand that. I want to dive deep into that. I want to leverage that. I want that machine working for me. I want to be asleep and my subconscious mind is creating wealth for me. That is a commitment that you're going to have to make, right? Number two, you're going to have to make new agreements. One of the agreements that drives what we do when we work hard is we literally have been hardwired to agree that hard work equals success. That is an agreement that we've made and that we live by. So a new agreement would sound like, when I'm in flow, when I am allowing, I actually experience more success. I'm going to make that new agreement. When I'm in flow, when I'm allowing, when I'm just taking inspired action, when my actions feel more feminine, like, this just feels in flow. I'm taking action, and I'm just doing my thing, and I'm allowing God, universe, source to support me in turning this action into a result that is bigger than the action itself. Like, one of the reasons why we agree hard work equals success is we actually believe that the effort needs to be commensurate with the result. So if you want a big result, you have to do massive physical effort. Well, what I want you to agree to is, I can create. That's an agreement that you made. Like, you sign your name to that agreement. You can also agree, when I'm in flow, when I'm allowing, when I'm taking inspired action, I create massive results too. I create even more success, right? That is an agreement. Beth says, thank you for clarifying the feminine energy. I was always resistant to anything goddess related, mistaking and thinking it was a weakness. Ooh, Beth, thank you for jumping in with that comment because that's a whole conversation. I had a beautiful one-on-one client who literally, like, when I tell you, I hope she's watching. I don't want to say her name because I didn't ask her if I could share this. But when I tell you, she like got physically angry at me when I wanted to have a session to show her how to tap into her feminine power. Ooh, oh, she was, I mean, angry. I hate that. It's weak. It's like, I mean, I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but it like, like literally like the wind, it just shot me back. And I spent a week at least thinking, my God, what is it that would cause her to feel so resistant to this? Right. And we talked about it and we figured it out. And it was like, my mom said that was weak. It was weak. And we tend to think if I'm in my feminine, I'm relying on a man. If you're in your feminine, you are relying on God. God. You are partnering with God. You are relying on the power that God gave you, the treasure which is within your subconscious mind. 95% of the power that you have to create is in your mind, not in your physical effort. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. We're going to talk about that at another time, right? So number 2 is to make some new agreements. Number 3, you have to find a new tribe, because here's what I realize. When so many people say, why do you do it? Why do you continue to make the agreement, hold the agreement as true, and therefore work so hard for success? Because my mom did it, because my grandmother did it, because every woman in my community does it. Every time I look around online, someone sent me, oh my gosh, thank you, Vicky. Someone sent me a thing last night and said, Tasha, thank you for having these conversations, because it was this video of this woman who was obviously very influential saying, like, you're not going to have a soft life if you don't work hard. And I was like, whoa, good for you. You do that. You sign up for that. It's like I was running with my group on Saturday, and one of the ladies in the group was like, how about we, for our fun run, we go run the hills in our town. I was like, I tell you what, you do that. Send me a memo. You let me know how that was, right? It's kind of like this. You're not going to have a soft life until you have a hard life. What a freaking powerful agreement. No, thank you. You have at it. I am too evolved and we are too enlightened and we know way too much. That to me is I'm going to be impolite in what I really want to say. I'm just going to say we're more evolved at this point in our journey. We have more information than we've ever had about the power of our mind, the power of the universe that supports us in creating, to continue to make agreements like that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. And number 4, you have to really step into an agreement that says, an affirmation that says, I deserve easy success. One of the things I'm really passionate about is that you're not going to have something you don't believe you deserve. And the truth is, for many women, we do not believe we deserve easy success. It's a little unfortunate, but the truth is, we actually believe that we have not only that we have to work hard for success, but we actually believe that we deserve for success to come at this price that is just hard, right? And so we don't believe that we deserve for it to be easy. I know, and you know my famous story with my $25,000, where I was like, you know what, you want to pay me $25,000? No, that's way too easy. You just want to write me a check just like that in less than a minute? Way too easy. Go over there and go sign up for my $5,000 program, right? And why did I do that in that literally less than 5 seconds? I made that decision because a more powerful deservingness thing was at play, which was that I don't deserve for it to be easy. Right? So we have to step into, I deserve to have easy success. And so I just want to hang on. I'm checking at the time over here on Instagram. So yes, I want to support you all in knowing that a community exists. And then remember, I started with, I allow a man to teach me how to be feminine. And it didn't make sense to me at the time. And I think the same thing is true right now, where you possibly, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say, you most likely, I am almost certain, as my name is Tasha, know like I know, you're going to need a mentor to remind you how to be feminine. And it seems, probably the way when I first heard it, it seems illogical. Like, I am a woman. What do you mean I need a mentor to teach me how to be feminine? I'm talking about being feminine in this way, where you step back into utilizing your feminine power, mastering your subconscious mind, which is feminine, learning and trusting, like just trusting that you can use flow and allow and inspired action to create massive results. Being in a community with other women who are saying, I'm saying yes to this way, right? Because standing out there on your own, trying to say, I'm going to do this while every woman around you is doing the opposite, is going to be an uphill battle for you. But if you're in a community where every woman stands for, I want to remember my power, I want to tap into utilizing what I have naturally in the feminine to create my results, that's going to make it far easier for you to use this, right? I see us as, like, if you're watching a superhero movie, it's like we are the women of the multimillionaire galaxy, and we're over here like looking down on Earth and seeing all these other women that we just want to bring up with us and go, let's do it this way. Let us choose to do it this way and celebrate the results as we're on the journey. So I just want to say, if you know that having a mentor, being in a community, just having someone remind you of this power and bring you back to ease, stepping out of these agreements that you've made generationally to work hard and shifting it for the generations to come, then I want to invite you to come join us. We are closing the doors this week, right? We're closing the doors to our next 4-month container. This is where, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited for the women who've already said yes. They've started to work on their deservingness, because that's one of the things that I teach, an entire program just on becoming deserving of success and wealth with ease. They've started to work on their money traumas, things that have happened in their life that have them agreeing to be in the masculine because they've been traumatized to believing there's nothing else. Like, believing you have to work hard is traumatic. I'm sorry. I think of that as trauma, right? So learning how to create a new wealth identity. I had a beautiful one of my goddesses. We had a conversation on Friday, and, it was like my greatest coaching to her was, go and like adorn yourself, go and shop and walk out in the identity that you are saying yes to as this next level wealthy version of you. Right. And there's so many aspects to creating that wealth identity. So if you know, like, Tasha, I know nothing about this, or Tasha, I know some about this, but I'm just watching videos, I'm reading books. I want to be in a container where you're supporting me, where I have other women like me, where I'm being mentored and my hands are held and I'm shown my way back to the feminine. Then I'm going to tell you, do not let the doors close without you being a part of this journey with us. The doors are closing. We're starting the program next week. And so we're finalizing our enrollment this week by Friday. Book a call, type the word abundance. Go ahead, all of you, because really, whether you've booked a call or not, hang on a second. You want to type the word abundance. Let me see. Type the word abundance. Instagram, just shoot me a DM. But Facebook, you can type the word abundance. If you're on YouTube, just find a way to message me. Do whatever it takes to book a call so that we can talk about having you join our next 4-month container. It's called Money and Profit Mastery. And yes, it is about money, and it is about profit, and it is about mastering those things, but it's all from feminine energy. right? So book your call. And also when you type the word abundance, it's going to give you an opportunity to sign up for reminders for these lives and everything else that I do when I come online or come to teach. So you want to make sure you type the word abundance to get you in the flow of receiving all of the updates that's coming, right? So it's going to give you the opportunity to be reminded plus to book a call. So go ahead, everybody watching, and type the word abundance, check Facebook Messenger, and then just say, yes, I want to be reminded, or yes, I want to book a call. I want to be in with this next group. All right. With that, I just want to remind you, remember who you are. Remember that you have power in the feminine. Remember that just nature already tells you 5% of our mind is conscious and it's masculine. 95%, the ability to create, is feminine. Let's learn, let's embody, let's choose using that power to create results. And let's end the agreements to working hard for the results that we have. Well, I love you. Go have an amazing rest of the day and a wonderful week. Bye, everyone.